Hi, all, and welcome to episode 17 of Plain Speaking Sanjiv. Today is World Pilots Day, and I want to thank and congratulate all pilots for all the contributions to aviation. I also want to take today's episode and make it a special one where I name a set of pilots that have helped make aviation into what it is today. The first pilot I want to name is Orville Wright. He was one of the Wright brothers, and he was the pilot actually who operated the very first flight in 1903, which was the foundation of flight. Charles Lindbergh, who in 1927 flew solo across the Atlantic, 33 hours it took him in the Spirit of St. Louis, a single engine piston aircraft. Amelia Earhart, who was the world's first female aviation pioneer, who also flew solo across the Atlantic just 1 year later in 1928. And eventually she was lost mysteriously over the South Pacific, and we still don't know what exactly happened. This was in the 1930s. J.R.D. Tata, of course, India's very first commercial pilot who received his pilot's license in 1929. Chuck Yeager, who was the first man to fly supersonic in 1947 on the Bell X-1 experimental aircraft. Tex Johnston, the famous Boeing test pilot, who took the prototype of the Boeing 707, which is known as the Dash 80, and flew it upside down over a startled audience in Seattle. It's called a barrel roll, what he did. When asked by the then Boeing CEO why he did that, he said, "Sir, I just wanted to sell airplanes." Captain Durba Banerjee, India's first female pilot and also India's first female captain. She started flying in 1959 and became captain on the Fokker Friendship, the F-27, in 1966. I also want to recognize the contributions of Captain Victor Grubs and Bob Bragg. They were in command of Pan Am Clipper Victor, the Boeing 747 that was caught in the unfortunate collision with the KLM aircraft in Tenerife in 1977, the world's worst aviation disaster. But Captains Grubb and Bragg actually managed to steer the Pan Am aircraft out of the way partly of the KLM aircraft and saved many lives thanks to that. I'll do this episode in two parts because I have more names, so please join me for part two. Thank you.